When we were looking for a pilot destination for this technology, it was really important that we picked a forward-thinking, ambitious destination and one that has a real vibrancy about it. And Brighton seemed to fit the bill in many ways. So as well as it being a very exciting, youthful city and therefore a very creative city, that so there were lots and lots of photosynths to pick. There's also a lovely mix of historic buildings and some fabulous Regency architecture, all of which I think help to show the photosynth technology off to its best and show Brighton off to its best.
We've used Photosynth for about 2 or 3 months on the website, have been out ourselves and taken a number of photosynths around the city and have applied those to the Visit Brighton website. The next step is to also encourage businesses within the city, whether that be accommodation providers, attractions, restaurants, to actually take their own photosynths as well. Certainly the one thing that we've noticed is actually how easy it is to create a photosynth. So we'll be encouraging local businesses to do that themselves, apply those to us and we can put those onto the site to aid visitors. We've also actually applied photosynths to visitor attractions already featured on the Visit Brighton website, and actually we can show that to you now. Okay, the key thing for Photosynth and ourselves on the Visit Brighton site is to give visitors a greater interaction with the site and to give them some inspiration of where to go and places to see. So in terms of the site, how we've applied it is picked up a number of different attractions around the city and actually applied photosynths to those. So obviously I'll go into the museums and galleries section within the city and actually I can, using the map facility, click on to search, and it will bring up, as one would expect, a map of the various attractions, museums and galleries within the city. From here, it's really simple in terms of obviously zooming into the appropriate place and actually selecting the attraction that you want. So in this case, we've taken a photosynth of Brighton Museum and Art Gallery. And as you can see here now, what we do have on the site, which is absolutely fantastic and for visitors to click on, is the actual photosynth of the Museum and Art Gallery. So for visitors who are interested in see what is the Museum and Art Gallery about, by going into photosynth now, they can actually take a really interactive view of the outside of the building and start to actually explore, even before they arrive in the city, giving them some inspiration of the attraction, what it is, where it's positioned within the city. So just a joy to actually, play around with and actually to whet the visitor's appetite as well, which for us is something that's so important.
We really felt that Photosynth helped our destination management organisation clients really tell the story of their destinations, of their cities and of their regions. It's such an interactive medium that we can overlay the photosynths within the virtual earths, within the dynamic mapping that we're already using, and it really brings a destination to life. So rather than just seeing some flat footage, some imagery, or even a video, it's still once it's done, it's still static. Photosynth is really a different experience for every single user.
So in the next few minutes, I'm going to introduce you into a couple of the new features that we have in the latest Photosynth version. So assume that we have already uploaded and created one of our photosynths. We will discover what some of these new features on the public website. So you see here, this is my homepage on Photosynth, and you see one of these Photosynth collections is marked as unlisted. So this is one of the new features. We can mark them as private. That means it is not searchable anymore, and you need to have the URL and know where exactly this location is. Others who don't have this URL have no access to this collection. Now what we can do here is we can make this collection public, but before we do that we want to edit it a little bit. So we switch now into the editor, which is basically a Silverlight application, and we can see that we have two tabulators here. One provides the highlights, one the settings. So in the settings I can switch between the mode if I want to have the world up or the photo up. So for this collection, it looks better if I have the photo up. And I can also define what I want to have as a start image. So if I turn that a little bit around and take this as my current start image, that will be where the Photosynth collection starts up. Now the highlights is certainly one of the most exciting features. This one allows us to bring the attention to a couple of most important photos that we have in this collection. So let's say we want to have the mug here and provide the caption for that as well. And then let's have a look what else is in this collection. Zoom out a little bit and have a look at my desk. There is a brochure here, and I want to create this as a highlight as well. Add this as a highlight, brochure. And maybe a last one. We zoom out, navigate a little bit around. There's my laptop, and let's have a look at this as well. This is my laptop. Done. So now that I have saved all these highlights, I can go back into my Photosynth viewer. The new thing here is that we have now a Silverlight viewer. We can still navigate around as we have done that before, but we don't need a separate plugin anymore. This is the same plugin that you use for all the other Silverlight applications in your web browser as well. If you want to fall back to the direct 3D viewer, you can still do that, but by default we are showing now the Silverlight viewer. Here we have a couple of navigation controls, so we can also animate this collection and basically play from one photo to the next to see what's happening here. And we can jump from one highlight to the next, and in this case we can have a read through the brochure here in Virtual Earth. Now if we want to discover all these wonderful Photosynth collections, we can go to the Photosynth Explorer. And there's one nice function that is the Map Explorer function. This Map Explorer function is based on a Virtual Earth map. And as we zoom a little bit closer into certain regions here, let's go into Reading, we will find out there are a couple around the Microsoft campus. And when I mouse over this, we will see here the collection that I've created previously. The one that I just created, the unlisted one, is not visible here on this map. So all these nice functions are now integrated in the info box that we see on top of Virtual Earth. And this basically takes just 5 lines of JavaScript code. We embed an iframe in the info box, and to generate this iframe, we can get back to our Synth view, have a quick look here at the cubicle, and here we generate the iframe. This is basically the little bit of HTML code that we add into our info box. That's it.